Друзі, вітаю на каналі Верба. З вами Ніка Мінченко, ваша вчителька української мови. And today we will talk about the vocabulary topic clothes, одяг in Ukrainian. So in this video lesson, we will learn categories of clothes, names of clothes, and also we'll learn some useful structures and phrases that you may need on the levels A1 and A2. So stay tuned. But before we go on with our vocabulary topic, I have a very important announcement for you, friends, and I do hope that you will listen to me and maybe you could help a little bit. The thing is that you probably heard that I have a group, like free group for the volunteers who learn Ukrainian, and we are practicing it already for more than 2 years. And I sometimes take part in their volunteer projects to help them a little bit. So this time, two of my students, Benjanin, who by the way has a YouTube channel, Florida Man for UA, you can check his channel in my video description, and Kevin, who is the medical volunteer who actually helps wounded soldiers in the most difficult situations of their lives. So these two guys, they decided to combine their efforts and opened the new project, which they called Dignity for Heroes, which is directed for actually wounded soldiers who need the essential clothing in that moment when they get wounded, receive the first medical aid, and they lose all the clothes that they have because doctors need the access, and normally this clothes it's just being fully destroyed. So after that, when they are sent to the further recovery, they have literally nothing to wear, and this is pretty serious problem. And so these guys, they decided to use all the chances that they have and to purchase or to gather, to organize this kind of specific clothing for these soldiers. And now I would like you to hear a little bit more about this project directly from my student Benjamin, who will tell you, I think, a little bit better. So guys, meet Ben. He's from Florida. By the way, in the description you will find the link to his YouTube channel if you want to learn more about what he is doing in Ukraine. And I would like you to hear the information about this project directly from him. So Ben, could you please tell us a little bit about it?
Так, звісно, дякую, Nika. I have an organization called Florida Men for Ukraine. We have several projects, and we've just went to the front, and I got to speak with one of my friends, and she needs help with clothing. She supplies medical supplies to stabilization points. So soldiers on the front who get wounded are taken to these points. Their clothings are, it's dirty, it's been damaged, it needs to be removed, and they need to be re-outfitted. And they're going to be re-outfitted with civilian clothing. And these are one of those small logistic problems that a lot of people don't think about. And so being in Ukraine for quite some time, I've understood that we can utilize the volunteer network here in Lviv area to collect clothing, to do thrift shopping, and then to send that to her facility in Zaporizhia, where she can directly send those out to the stabilization points.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So could you tell a little bit more how my viewers who would like to help, how they could help actually?
Of course. First off, if you're coming to Ukraine, if you're a short-term volunteer just coming to Ukraine, this is a new activity for you to do to volunteer in Ukraine. Currently, our first focus is setting up the project in Lviv. So if you come to Lviv to do volunteer, like net weaving, working at a volunteer soup kitchen, this is another activity for you to do while you're in Ukraine. If you're outside of Ukraine, particularly if you're in Europe, it would be good to get in contact with me. If you already have a volunteer group that does humanitarian runs to Ukraine, we can work a way to find about you getting your supplies, your clothes, sending that to them and kind of working that into the system so that allows them when they're coming into country, let's say if they're bringing vehicles or they're bringing medicine, it's another item for them to bring. And since this is going to be based out of Lviv, it's usually the first place everyone goes through. So it'd be an easy way for us to drop off supplies here.
Right. Okay. So then we will post all the details, all the contact information in the description of this video, so everyone could contact you directly if they have any useful information. And we will really, really appreciate your help, guys. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Nika.
Guys, on this slide you can see what are the most necessary things, so you could approximately imagine what they will be gathering, what they are raising funds for, because this type of clothes, it's pretty specific sometimes. Yes, some specific color, like colors green or brown, or for example adaptive shorts, adaptive t-shirts. This is a specific type of clothing that's being produced specifically for people with limited abilities due to their wounds. So this is kind of very important project. And also I wanted to show you a little bit of the process, how this is all happening, because partially the things are being collected from second-hand shops that are actually pretty popular in Ukraine. And as you can see, Ben with another volunteers, they were going around these second-hand shops and purchasing specifically those types of clothing that they need the most. And this is how actually other volunteers can also help if they visit Ukraine and would like to join this project. So basically, how you can help, friends, if you want to take part in it. First of all, you can contact organizations in your country, in your city, that already helps Ukraine. Maybe they already have this kind of humanitarian help, like clothing, and you can combine them with Ben, and they could already make a further logistics in Ukraine. Also, if you travel to Ukraine and you're looking how to help, you don't know any volunteer projects or organizations, you can join these guys in Lviv and actually help them doing it physically. And the third type how you can help is to send your donation to this PayPal account, and they will do it already for you. But if you send a donation, please comment Dignity for Heroes, so that the volunteers would know for which exactly project you are donating. Here also you can see all the contact information. There is a website where you will find more details, and it's in the video description as well. Again, the PayPal account and also the email of Ben, which you can use if you would like to contact him regarding some organizations from your country, or if you want to volunteer in Lviv, you can contact him and he will provide you with all the necessary information. So I really hope that you could participate at least in some way in this project, and I do hope that this project will be successful and it will really help these people to feel at least some minimum comfort that they really deserve for. And on this note, I suggest us to continue and to talk a little bit about the clothes vocabulary in Ukrainian. So at first we will talk about the categories. What categories there are? I will show you a list of them, will read them for you, and you need to try to guess what it means. And in the end I will show you the translations of them all. Let's go. Верхній одяг is the clothes that we wear on top. Верх, right? Верхній одяг. For example, куртки, пальта, шуби. Повсякденний одяг – це одяг на кожен день. Офіційний або діловий одяг, спортивний одяг для заняття спортом, традиційний одяг, наприклад, вишиванка, вишивана сорочка, вишивана сукня. Спеціальний одяг, наприклад, уніформа або ж лікарський халат. Святковий або вечірній одяг, як то вечірня сукня, коктейльна сукня, костюм, фрак тощо. Військовий одяг, звичайно, дуже популярна категорія зараз в Україні. Також адаптивний одяг – це якраз одяг для поранених людей, так, для людей, які мають якісь проблеми зі здоров'ям і які потребують спеціального одягу. Спідня білизна – це те, що ми носимо під одягом. Домашній або нічний одяг, пляжний одяг, тобто для басейну, для пляжу, так, на море. А також аксесуари, взуття, те, що ми носимо на ногах. And here you can see the translation of all those categories if you had question about any of them. And now we will talk about the clothes items. And we will do it in this format of a game. So I will show you pictures of different items and parts of the words. Some letters. And you need to try to guess these words, maybe recall it if you heard them somewhere or learned them before, or if you just need to repeat this vocabulary, then this exercise could be very useful. But guys, in order for me not to make this video too long, I will not give you too much time, but I hope that you can stop the video for as long as you need, then try to recall the words and then I will show you the correct result. This way it will be a little bit more convenient, I think. So, how would you call these two items in Ukrainian? It will be сукня і светр. Сукня, светр. What about these two? How would we call them in Ukrainian? Це штани і джинси. What about these two? The first one is this top that has thin laces, but not shirt. And the second one is short. So how do we call them? Майка and top. Майка, top. What about these two? Skirt and shirts. Спідниця та шорти. Спідниця та шорти. What about these two? Coat and shirt. Пальто та сорочка. Так, пальто та сорочка. What about these two? By the way, you can see that the first one, it has two words that both are used in Ukrainian, and when you will guess them, I will explain what's the difference between them. So, let's see how we call them. Either піджак or жакет. And what will be the difference? As the dictionaries say, піджак is mostly male item of clothes, while jacket is mostly female. But nowadays, there is almost no this difference. So if you are going to online shopping, you will see that піджак also will be used for women, jacket maybe would be used for men, but in general, піджак is dominating in the internet and in the naming. So basically, now it's almost no difference. Also, they say that піджак has this more simple, straight shape, while jacket could be more creative and have different shapes, could be shorter, longer, have some interesting pockets, etc., etc. But anyway, both will be used. And the second word is блуза. Блуза. Піджак, жакет і блуза. What about these two? How would we call them in Ukrainian? Of course, it will be футболка і комбінезон. Футболка і комбінезон. What about these items? Here we have a little bit more of them, so make sure you stop the video to try to guess all of them. And I will show you now the correct answers. So the first item we will call kurtka, second шапка, then рукавички from слово руки, чоботи та шарф. Куртка, шапка, рукавички, чоботи, шарф. Now we go to the underwear, спідня білизна. And as you can see, for the bra, we have two words in Ukrainian and both of them could be used. So, how we will call them? Either лівчик or бюстгальтер. For panties, we would say труси or трусики. Трусики is like a diminutive form, and actually for a female item, it will be more frequently used. While for male, we just use non-diminutive form труси. Also, we have these two items. How would we call them in Ukrainian? Корсет та шкарпетки. Корсет, шкарпетки. What about these two items? The first one we would call колготки, or sometimes just колготи. And the second one that is cut, on the middle of the leg will be панчохи, панчохи. What about this домашній одяг or нічний одяг? How would we call these items? Піжама, капці, нічна сорочка та халат. Піжама, капці, нічна сорочка, халат. What about these two? Пляжний одяг, так? The female one will be called купальник, from the verb купатися, and the male one плавки, from the verb плавати. Probably somebody some time ago thought that women купаються and men плавають. This is how it appeared. Okay, very good. A little bit more about accessories, аксесуари. How would we call these ones? Let's check. Капелюх, краватка, сонячні окуляри, пояс та годинник. Капелюх, краватка, сонячні окуляри, пояс та годинник. Very good. Good job. I hope you could recall a lot of them. Now let's see some structures and phrases that you might need. And the first one is одягати, одягти plus accusative case, to put something on. So if we can use both imperfective and perfective verb, I will show you them both, and first one will be imperfective, second perfective, so you can clearly distinguish them. Let's take a look at example. На вечерю я одягну червону сукню. Одягну, I will put on. Червону сукню is in the accusative case. The next one. Знімати, зняти plus accusative to take something off, on contrary. Він зняв светр, бо стало спекотно. He took off his sweater because it became too hot. The next one. Носити plus accusative case, to wear something. And this one already can be used only in this form, in imperfective form. And by the way, носити is the verb of motion, but we can use only this multi-directional form, because we are not wearing it only to some one place, but we are wearing it in general, right? So then we would say, я не ношу джинси і шорти. So like I don't wear them in general. Одягатися або одягнутися. A reflexive verb that could mean either to get dressed, like одягатися вранці, or to dress up for some event, for example. So, як ти хочеш одягнутися на вечірку? How do you want to get dressed or to dress up to a party? The next one is either переодягатися or переодягнутися. Prefix пере means to change something. So this is to change your clothes. Я хочу переодягнутися перед тренуванням. I want to change before the training. Yeah, maybe to some sport clothes. Okay, let's go on. We have some more structures. Of course, if we talk about clothes, we talk about shopping. So here we would say купувати або купити plus accusative. Я купила собі новий купальник. I bought myself, собі, a new swimming suit, купальник. Also we could say ходити по магазинах. To go shopping. Literally means like to go around the shops. Ходити по магазинах. Я не дуже люблю ходити по магазинах. I don't really like to go shopping. By the way, you can also use the word shopping in Ukrainian. Ходити на шопінг. It also is used, but this is the borrowed word, while ходити по магазинах is more a typical Ukrainian structure. Also, you could say приміряти, приміряти. And pay attention that, here we have imperfective verb and perfective, but they look absolutely the same. The only difference is the stress, and the stress changes the aspect of verb. This is not a very common situation, but we have Ukrainian verbs that work like this. Приміряти, приміряю is imperfective, present tense, while приміряти is already perfective verb. So, we could say, я хочу приміряти ці джинси. I want to try on these jeans. So, this is the perfective verb. Oh, and by the way, the word for the place where you can try on the new clothes in the shop will be called примірочна. So, if you are in Ukrainian shop, look for this sign. Примірочна, from the verb приміряти, to try something on. And of course, with clothes, what we need to do, we need to wash them. So we would say прати, попрати plus accusative case. Цю блузу треба прати в делікатному режимі. So this blouse needs to be washed in this delicate settings. Not sure how to say it. Отже, прати, попрати. And also we have the verb прасувати, попрасувати, to iron something. For example, я ніколи не прасую футболки і джинси. I never iron t-shirts and jeans. So, these are the verbs that I wanted to give you today on this lesson. Guys, now practice time, because you've listened a lot, you even took active part, which is good, but you need to practice it. So I suggest you to write your own sentences or phrases, maybe questions, maybe some story, using the phrases and vocabulary that we talked about in this lesson. And also, please don't forget to give this video a thumb up, maybe share it. Writing a comment also is very helpful so that more people would see it. And also, if you are not subscribed, please make sure that you have subscribed, because I know that more than half of views on my channel are from not subscribed people. I think it's a little bit not honest, so please, if you are watching my video lessons, check if you have the subscription, because sometimes you even think that you have, but it's not. We'll be very thankful. And also want once again to remind you about the project Dignity for Heroes, how you can support it, maybe a donation, maybe you're going to Lviv to volunteer, and then you can help there directly, and then you need to contact with Benjamin via his email, or maybe you have contacts with some organizations that might be helpful, that have clothes and can deliver it to Lviv, so it will be very, very big help for you. Please check all the links, they're in description, in the first pinned comment, and I want to thank you for participating in all my charity projects. This is very important. It cannot be overestimated ever, because really it means a lot for us, for all the Ukrainians. Thank you so much, щиро дякую, і до нових зустрічей, друзі. На все добре.